You talked about something that happened to you when you found your mother. Okay, so what happened?
Well, what happened in that moment was, I can't save anybody. That was it for me. My childhood was trying to please everybody and save everybody because it was such chaos in my house. So I used love and compassion and jokes and putting on show. I would put on these shows. It was just, my mom will die if I don't make her laugh. And who is it? Eugene. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Who is that? That played
Gene Hayman? No, Gene,
curly hair. How do I not remember?
Yeah, Wilder.
So we had a similar experience. His mom was sick. I think she had cancer, and the doctor said, if you don't make your mom, if she cries, she's gonna die.
Oh, that's a good thing to know.
And so my mom told me the same thing. She said, I'm gonna die. And here's the lockbox, and here's where all the stuff is. She just sat me and my brothers and I said, I'm dying. She didn't say why or how, I said, was it a joke? Am I bombing over here? And so that was it. It was, if she's not laughing, she's going to die. So that's how serious it was for me with humor and entertainment. And so when I saw her trying to take her life, she had walked into a lake and there was pills lined up on the edge of the lake. I mean, that's burned into my head, that image. And I went and pulled her out. And I guessed where she was. I didn't even know she was there. I was literally at a fork in the road in my car. And her husband called and said she took the car. And, the hospital said she can't drive. We knew she was suicidal at the time. And I just picked a place and went there and pulled her out. And I looked at her and I realized, I can't save anybody. So from her nearly dying, and she's, psychologically gone at this point, she's still alive, but that set me free to...
What was the realization?
That I'm not gonna save anybody. I can
Why, and how was it that you realized that?
Because it
failed.
This isn't about me.
Right.
This is something... I can't even. Well,
everybody has their own destiny.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was the moment when I probably started saying what I actually thought, and right after.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Right after that, and this is going to connect back to the whole: are you a conservative comedian? Well, then, cut to 2000.
if you tell the truth, then you're probably a conservative comedian.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And they're getting funny too.
I know. What the hell?
It's really switched.
Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh.
He was the first. I heard him as a Canadian. I went down to L.A. 40 years ago, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I heard Rush Limbaugh, and he was like Trump in a way. He was so nefarious. And I heard him, and I thought, this guy's a comedian. Like, people were taking him seriously, but mostly I thought he was hilarious. He was just hilarious. And
well, if the new marker is that you are going to say what you want while risking offending people, that is comedy.
Yeah, right.
So if people want to say that's a conservative, at this point I throw my hands up. I say fine.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and you could see that at the Comedy Mothership too.
Yeah.
Right. Because I would say the comedy that I heard there would generally be branded conservative, but that's a very strange thing because, first of all, conservative comedy, that's a very weird thing. But also, it's just that so many things are forbidden now, and mostly forbidden by the left. Yeah.
They're not actually forbidden, though. I tell comedians that. I go, don't say you can't say this anymore. I said, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
You're going to pay the price. I'm in trouble all the time. But that's just part of it now.
Is that a good thing?
Let me rephrase how you can handle it, I think.
Let's take that apart a little bit because it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's very stressful, but it's also full of opportunity, right? I mean, when things are left on the table, you can take them. You might have to pay the price for taking them, but you can take them. And so in the comedy world, it seems that the people who are willing to take the risks are likely to be the ones that were successful. Now, when you had decided to start saying what you really believed, so that's, the Jungians would call that the That's the encounter with, that's the what? Realization of the persona. You know, in the Pinocchio movie, Pinocchio's a puppet. Other things are pulling his strings, right? And he comes to the truth, partly because he realizes he's lying. And that's when he starts to become real, right? That's a standard psychological transformation. And so that occurred when you realized that the act that you were putting on wasn't going to do the trick fundamentally. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mom's gonna die. Friends are gonna leave. I was dating a girl at the time who got back with her ex-boyfriend, and so I was flattened out. I mean, I barely made it through that, but that's when I started seeing your videos, and it was mind blowing. You know, I would see you say something, and it would just be explosive, and then I got into therapy, so that forced me into therapy. And it was a shitty therapist. She was a social worker.
Oh yeah,
and I know
that's dangerous.
She was.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. However, and she saw everything through the lens of patriarchy, and you know, I remember I said my girlfriend cheated on me. She said, "Well, did she really cheat on?" I mean, she really, you know. So that was, but it got me there, got me into therapy.
And what that was helpful?
It was helpful to just be there and start vomiting stuff out.
Yeah, right.
You know, you got to do it. It's going to come out.
Yeah.
And then she said, I think you should go to 12-step meetings, because I was with this girl who was cheating on me and I couldn't get away from her. And so I started going to all sorts of 12-step meetings. There was no specific thing. Some people said she said it might be love addiction, or, you know, I went to the Children of Alcoholics meetings. And I went there and I just listened. And I did this for 2 years.
Oh yeah.
I locked myself in base because there was no other way out. I had to go into the fire. So
what did you find compelling about these meetings?
If you go to those meetings, and I recommend it for anyone that has any addiction, and that could be a slew of things. You go and you listen to people, and bombs are gonna go off, because you're gonna go, holy shit. That's what I thought. That's what I felt. And I started putting the pieces.
Right, so you were seeing yourself reflected in these other people.
Yes, every meeting. And, you know, everyone's sitting there sobbing and at their absolute lowest. And this guy just lost his kids for having an affair. And this, there was some for people that were grieving from deaths. So that helped with my mom's suicidal, fits. But I slowly started, listening and just putting my story together.
Apparently I'm coming unbuttoned here.
Well, I have that effect on people,